there's always money to be made and news to be made and popularity to be gained by propagating divisiveness between us. There's almost no money in peace.
Tonight, only on Way 31, the LGBTQ plus community's position in the woke culture war and what it means to them as a group of people who are often marginalized. People who are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, much like African Americans, have and continue to fight their own battles for equal rights in America. Scott tonight belongs to the LGBTQ plus community and is a therapist in Huntsville. He says in their conversations, when the term woke is uttered, it's usually a warning to be on the lookout for someone who poses a threat.
If you're a person in this population, most often you're hearing it in a hypervigilant way. These are keywords and red flags of people who usually don't mean you well.
Those people, in some cases, described as hating their efforts to unite, educate, and fight for equality. Scott says examples show up in many ways, such as
the policing of gender and identity. I just don't understand. I really don't get it. I mean, obviously it comes from some place of fear. I think it probably comes from the same fear places that homophobia, transphobia, and racism originate in, that this otherness is a threat to who they are.
Morgan McMichael, a contributor for Turning Point USA, says patrolling gender identity is necessary.
No, transgender medical procedures for minors shouldn't be legal in this country. Parents should be the ones educating their children on gender and how that works instead of the government schools. And they shouldn't be teaching 5-year-olds pronouns and that girls can become boys and boys can become girls, and even offering that opportunity without parental consent. And at the end of the day, it really is harmful to children and an overreach of the government. And, you know, President Trump recently just signed the executive order banning men from women's sports, which I was actually present at in the White House. And that was a monumental move of safeguarding women and protecting women's sports for the future, and also has to do with the woke ideology.
Recently, Alabama's lawmakers, most of them Republican, passed a law making it a felony to prescribe puberty blockers and perform surgeries to alter a minor's gender. Current statistics, Scott says, should open people's hearts and minds.
Statistically, we know that providing gender-affirming care reduces rates of suicide, reduces rates of mental health struggle, and leads to more productive, happy human beings.
He thinks the war on wokeism is led by people who are very protective of their privilege and their status.
They will go to any great length to demonize people they think are too unlike what they think people are supposed to be like. And so if you don't look a particular way or believe a particular way or fit their definition of what humanity is, then there's something wrong with you, and it's because you've been indoctrinated into thought. I don't think that progressives are declaring war on the beliefs of others.
People Scott commonly hears being labeled as woke are
the people who are advocating for underserved populations who need service, who need attention, and who need equity.
And in his opinion, and others he knows personally in the LGBTQ plus community, there's nothing wrong with that. Tomorrow night, we take a deep dive into conservative perspectives on what's at stake in the woke culture war.